What's happening, everybody, and welcome to Rantpocalypse Talks, The Walking Dead, issue 156, Queen and King. You may have already caught my super rambly, all over the place video. I just actually read the comic for the second time, and I'm conflicted. I'm very conflicted. The first time I read it, I was caught up, enraptured in the moment of a new issue of the Walking Dead comic book. Then you like to step back, you want to read it again, and you want to contemplate things, you want to think about things, whether or not the issue was as good as you thought it was on the initial reading, or were you just super hyped? I definitely was super hyped, and reading it again for the second time is whenever you can kind of really dive in and, you know, just kind of catch some of those smaller details that you may have missed on the first reading. It's just like with a TV show. You watch the episode, you're super into it, you're like, hell yes, we got a new episode, it's gonna be so great, and you're super hyped for it. So there was one panel in particular that stood out to me whenever I was rereading the issue, and it stood out to me the first time I read it, but the second time it really hit home, because I'm thinking to myself, what the hell am I reading right here? What the hell is Negan saying? What Negan is this? Is Negan got some kind of, whisperer face on, and it's not really Negan underneath there, because Negan stopped those men from raping that woman, and Alpha and the Whisperers believe that if you're not strong enough to protect yourself from said act of rape, then you don't belong in the group, and you should just kill that person off, because they're too weak, only the strong survive, survival of the fittest, Darwinism. I get all that, but that's fucked up, Alpha. And Negan calls her on her shit. In that one particular panel, whenever they're having their conversation about it, and he says, because if that's how you do things, you're so fucked in the head, you might as well be dead bodies pretending you're still fucking alive. Love that line. You know, says that shit is vile, Alpha. You should be ashamed of yourself. Because then he goes on to say, protecting the weak is the whole fucking basis for civilization. If you're not protecting the weak, you're not civilized. You're fucking animals. I'm confused here, and I think that you're supposed to be confused. I think that this is something that they've been planting the seeds for in the Walking Dead comic book for quite some time now, basically since Negan was captured by Rick and was imprisoned for all these years, however long it's been. It's been a long enough period of time that Rick looks definitively haggard at this point compared to how he looked at the end of issue 127 or 126, which was the end of the war, the all-out war with Negan. A lot of time has passed by. Negan is a changed man. He's not completely changed all the way, as you get some examples in this issue, whenever he's talking about little Negan having the big brain, talking about cock blocking, and just all sorts of hilarious shit that Negan spews out of his mouth, because he's one of those people that he's got to be very boastful in order for people to respect him. Like, he's got to get those lines out there. He's got to let people know that he's out there in the world. He likes to stand out, which is a very interesting aspect of Negan's character. It's one of the best things about his character, because he's funny as shit, and I love his character. The question that I ask from this issue, you know, he talks a lot about hurting another person just to hurt them, then you are fucked up. But then I think back to issue 100, and especially with what's going on in the comic or the TV show right now, how there was a scene in particular in this issue where Negan kneels before Alpha and basically says, I submit to your will, you're the boss, I'm the follower. And it's so interesting to see how that parallels with what we were left off on in season 6 of The Walking Dead, with the lineup, everybody's kneeling in front of Negan, and he has to have the power. Like, he needs the power. He feeds off the power. And man, a whole lot has changed since that time frame, and it's weird to see him falling in line. I don't know if this is real or not. I cannot quite figure this out, if Negan is being 100% truthful, or if this is all another part of his act. Is he going to bring Alpha's head to Rick and then backstab Rick as well? Because there had to have been some time that passed by in this comic book issue, because you see Negan doing work for the Whispers, going out hunting, fucking up while he's hunting, because he screams out that he's super jazzed that he killed a boar, which I'd be pretty pumped about too, and especially in the zombie apocalypse, because you're probably hungry as shit. And he was just excited about it. But it's the Whispers. They don't call them the Whispers for no reason. They don't talk really loud, so Negan doesn't get to eat. That was probably one of my favorite parts about this issue, is just getting to see Negan as a normal, everyday human being, not seeing the Negan that we've seen in the past, the Lucille bashing people, or even the Negan, which is the just mindfuck manipulator that he always is whenever Rick goes down there to have little conversations and chit-chats with Negan. I think the larger question that I would probably ask myself, and probably a lot of other comic book readers of The Walking Dead, and I hate to say this, but a lot of people that are a part of the feminist group. I don't even want to broach this subject sometimes because people just love to hate on you. They're just like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna fuck you up, don't even say shit about women or whatever. I just have a feeling that this might not go over as well with that certain group of people on social media, because you have this very, very strong, badass female character that we have a lot of on The Walking Dead. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's not like Robert Kirkman doesn't write amazingly badass female characters, but this is the first time in the comic book that we had this amazingly tough, very strong female villain character. And to see her break down in the comic book like she did and show these extreme signs of what I would consider normality, in the book, Negan says that not showing emotions is weaker actually than showing the emotions, which I agree. I mean, you hear that all the time. The big strong dudes that don't want to cry, but they're secretly super weak down in the part where it counts, because they can't illustrate those emotions because they feel like that'll automatically label them as weak individuals, when it really doesn't. I mean, shit, if you gotta cry, you gotta cry. Who cares? But I am very curious to find out what is going to be said about this issue. Like, are people going to be up in arms that Alpha was killed, especially in the very, very brutal fashion that she was killed, having her head completely cut off, just completely dismembered. That final panel, it's an epic shot. It's a truly, truly epic shot. Like, it's going to be one of those that people are going to remember for quite some time. I mean, Negan's got the head, he's holding it up, he says, wait till Rick sees this. It's a very, very tough image to see. Negan is such a cool character. He has so many different layers, which are so fun to interact with in the comic, and which is going to be super fun on the show. And it's crazy because it's like a couple panels earlier, he was talking about how it's messed up to kill people just for the hell of it, and then he's killing somebody sort of for the hell of it. I guess indirectly you could say that he's taking Alpha out for Rick as retribution for what Alpha did to Rick's gang, to the individuals in Rick's group. But Negan didn't really have ties to any of those people. Negan was trying to kill those people himself a couple of years earlier. So, I don't know. I think it's a very fascinating issue. I think it's a great issue. I cannot wait to see what happens after this. The aftermath of this issue is going to be incredible. The aftermath on this issue on social media, I think, is going to be incredible. If it's not, that's good. I hope it's not, because for me, I think that this just serves the Negan-Rick storyline that much more. I do feel like we were robbed of a really badass villain. I really liked Alpha. I thought she was super cool. I loved the shit out of her action figure. The little Todd McFarlane action figures and everything. She has a really cool one. The black and white, the bloody. It's awesome. She's got the face, the Whisperer face on. It's super cool. I hate to think that we're not going to get any more of those. That's going to really suck. And I don't think this is some like switcheroo to where Alpha had somebody else's face on and it wasn't really her and this was just a decoy. I could definitely see some of that conversation coming up, but I just don't think that's the case. I think now it's going to be Beta is going to rally the Whisperers. Dude is a hoss. Dude is a big ass motherfucker. Like, he can wreck shop. He made Negan look like a little bitch in multiple issues. So he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. I don't know if he has the smarts that Alpha had, even though he was the smartest one to say, we should kill him right now. And if Alpha would have done that, she would have had a head at the end of this issue. So I wanted to come back after I read the issue, after I did my initial like reaction video and discuss the issue in a little bit more detail and a little bit more depth. So I would love to have all of your comments about the issue. Just put them in the comment box down below. Let me know what you thought about the issue. Are you sad to see Alpha go? What the hell do you think Negan's going to do next? How is Rick going to take the news that he's going to have Alpha's head in a bag, basically? Or maybe Negan's going to put it on a spike? Who knows? I can't wait for issue 157. I can't wait for Comic-Con. It's coming up soon. There's going to be so many cool exclusives, Walking Dead figures. It's going to be great. It's going to be grand. We're going to get a brand new Season 7 trailer. Super excited about that. If you like this content, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel for more Walking Dead stuff. Thanks so much for stopping by. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Hope you have a fantastic day.